Welcome back. Well, you and I were probably sleeping. The famed Bitcoin mania was interrupted. It surged to over $11,000 and soon enough raised $2,000. Despite the volatility, some are betting on the blockchain technology and platforms behind cryptocurrencies. Now, one Singapore based company is looking to tap on that technology and the passion of supercar enthusiasts to launch a cryptocurrency IPO that offers shares in exotic cars such as Ferrari 250 GTO and McLaren P1, to name a few, via a blockchain platform. We have with us here in the studio co-founder of Bitcar, Gov Vanek. He's joining us to tell us more. So, Gov, thank you so much for joining us. Now, tell us more about how your planned ICO is going to work and who is the target here.
Thank you, Julie. Yeah. Our ICO will be commencing in the next month or so, and the targeted users for that are people who already own Bitcar and cryptocurrency, and this is called an ICO, and this year there's been billions of dollars raised already on such projects.
Oh, fantastic. And I believe a lot of the target is for supercar enthusiasts?
Yes, well, in this case, Bitcar is giving fractional ownership of high-end exotic cars, opening up that asset class which has never been available before to the ordinary person. Rich people can own, say, a LaFerrari, but that's millions of dollars, and they've been appreciating at a very high rate. For example, McLaren F1 has gone up from $1 million to over $15 million in 10 years, and we're opening that asset class to everybody through Bitcar.
Okay, so the big headlines these past few weeks, and I've just reported earlier, is that dramatic roller coaster ride that we saw with Bitcoin. What's been the broader impact for your business?
Yes, I think we're seeing Bitcoin adoption coming into the mainstream very much at the moment, which is a wonderful thing. And I think it's highlighting the interest in the cryptocurrencies globally. So it's actually very positive for Bitcoin.
Okay. Now, the value of cryptocurrencies has swollen to more than $200 billion, but there are still those who have doubts. In fact, the Australian authorities, for example, have warned that ICOs are riskier than other conventional investment because they can be conducted anonymously. What do you say to these concerns?
No, we're very supportive of the regulators making sure that prudent regulation is in place for ICOs, whether it be in Switzerland or in Australia with ASIC or the MAS in Singapore. And I think as ICOs evolve, the regulation and governance is improving radically. So we actually work with the regulators, and we think it's very positive.
Is there a particular reason why you've targeted Singapore in particular? What's so attractive about Singapore?
Singapore is really a fintech hub in Asia, and the talent pool is absolutely huge here in Singapore. And also the regulators here are open to innovation happening in a very solid way. So we are attracted by many things such as that in Singapore.
All right, let's talk about the regulation. Do you think that this sort of regulation that we see in Singapore markets should be replicated in other markets as well?
Singapore, I think, is a leading jurisdiction for the rollout of blockchain technology globally, and there are other jurisdictions that are, similar and improving. But again, every jurisdiction is controlled by its own governments, and so I can't predict which ones will come up and compete with Singapore. But Switzerland is another great jurisdiction, and I think Australia as well is developing very nicely as time goes on. There's enough projects really for all of those jurisdictions, we think.
All right, it's this unique concept of combination of supercars and cryptocurrencies. What could be the challenge? What's the biggest challenge here for you?
Well, I think for people to understand the project, we display all the information on our website, and we're doing lots of presentations at the moment. I don't think so much a large challenge. I just think it's very modern and innovative, and it's a sign of how these projects are coming out across lots of areas, and we're tokenizing real assets now onto the blockchain, which is really the theme for next year in the blockchain industry, right at the front of that, I think.
So looking forward, what's your vision for the future of cryptocurrencies?
I think cryptocurrencies are getting mainstream adoption quite solidly now across the world, and I think they can exist together with a fiat monetary system very soundly. But I think regulation is coming forward, and a kind of equilibrium will exist quite soon where both of those classes can probably work well together, I think.
So you're saying that we'll see more of these ICOs in the future linked to the unconventional assets like supercars?
Yes, I think it's a booming area and sector, and it's disrupting many old industries. And I think we will see Singapore and other areas, other countries actually see a lot of these ICOs take place in those countries in the next year, very much so, especially in Singapore, I think.
Best of luck. Thank you very much, Gov, for joining us. That was Gov Vanek, a co-founder of Bitcar. All right, still to come on Asia Business First, the latest on the Mount Agung